Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. I hope I find you good and healthy. And also, are we in a dawn of a new bull market? Now that's right. I know I'm making very fast claim in here, but telltale signs from the VSA has told me maybe we are seeing a new bull market. But of course, a couple of things need to happen first to shake out all the old resistance that we have seen before. Even some of those who have given up on the stock market may have to revive themselves again. So this is where we are looking at. So let's take a look at what we have for you in our breakfast show this morning in here. And of course, thank you for supporting this show in here, and do share this video in your timeline. We really appreciate. So you want to make it as best as you can, so you will benefit from some of our education and also the use of our VSA 360 as well as Smart Robie in turn in here. Now let's take a look at what we will be discussing this morning in here. We're talking about the new bull market and what is likely to follow in here. Now, what are the definition of a bull market here? Now, how do we know that this maybe still be the bear market rally? And why are you so sure, Martin, in here? Now, these are the questions that we all must continue to ask ourselves. So what are those rules if this is a bull market? Are you still holding on to the old losses, refusing to cut loss? Now this market will be very brutal, even if we've seen this new bull market that we have right now. But what are the undercurrent indicator that you will use to make sure that you are in the right platform at the right place in here? And how does your current existing trades will change with the new market? Have you given much thought about it? Stay on and watch on. Now, of course, our VSA 360 alert are fine, very timely, and of course, we always have new winners every time we share with you what we talked about last week. And this week itself will be a couple of new shares, but also looking back at the past 1 year. Now, the key to successful trading is all about knowing this level and continuing to backtest. Now, of course, many of you who have continued to follow our program, members of the public and as well as our member, you've seen a lot of the trades happen as it is, and I don't try to downplay it or whatsoever. Of course, you need to be supported at the right sector in here, and something we talk about. Now, if you're inexperienced, definitely this weekend, our foundation class starting tonight, we are doing our foundation 1 and also foundation 2. That will give you the edge to explore new opportunity that you've never seen before. So make sure you catch out our foundation class tonight in here. Registration is still opening in here. Now, of course, join our program, either that, sign up for a 10-day free trial with no obligation to give you much of the VSA that you have never seen before. Now let's take a look at our Pentagon Guider Real Money Portfolio Trading. We have added one more position, IJM so far. We are still moving aside with these stocks has not moved up, but we will see. They do move up and they do move up slowly. Now, all in all, we have seen it continue to outperform the KLSE in here. You can follow by following the QR code on top here. So to see any trades that I put in, and also we love to hear your feedback. And your feedback is important to us as we continue to change our program to suit you in here. What would you like me to talk about in here? Put it in there and I'll be happy to accommodate you in many ways. Of course, our VSA 360 continue to change the landscape of our members in here and focus always on being the intraday trade in here. Now, let's take a look at the VSA 360. What are the 5 things you should know of today? All right. So let's go into our VSA 360 in here. And definitely on top of it is the bell. The bell that you see here are what I call my alert. So we have Emulus. Oh, finally Emulus was turning green. I remember Mr. Chong here who's been asking about Emulus. Finally it turned green last night. So that's why you need a VSA 360 to check it out in here. KFIMA turned red, and we have MBank, and also Google has turned green Pentagon in here. So turn it on in here and we can check it out in here. So there are 3 new alerts as of 4th of August. We got Google, we got D Pharma turning red, B Auto also turned red, Sedania red, LHI has the Leong Hub also turned red. So you're aware of some of these stocks that you have. Hector, ATN has turned green in here. But Emulus will be quite interesting. We'll take a look at Emulus. Let's check out Emulus. And you can see Emulus is one of those technology stocks. It has been a lagger, right? But finally, as I said before, you have to be very patient now. This morning is up 1.65%. So there is a continuing flow of this market in here. So that's why you need a VSA 360 alert in here. Now also let's check out the going back to the dashboard, and we want to see what are those sectors. And of course we also want to pay attention to here what I call the foreign fund. Let's bring it out again in here. Only in VSA 360 where we have the foreign fund, the KLSE aligning, that explain what has happened. Now remember why I talk about here. The last time when we have this was on 31st of May. The KLSE was doing 1570. That's where the just put it here. We have 321 net flow. And last night we did hit a new one, 284. If my figures are correct in here, that is a tall tale sign that this market in here has moved up higher, right? You can see the last time it moved up also in tandem. But what need to follow is a continuation of inflow. Very important inflow, because the next couple of days, especially next week or even this weekend, MIDF weekly report will talk about all the foreign fund flows in here. But more importantly is subsequently we don't get outflow. If we get a lot of outflow right just above my head here, that will means we're going to go through this. But of course, let's look at some of the volume that is coming in here, and the chart will definitely give you a little bit of lead way where we are heading off. All right, so this is what we are looking at, and let's take a look at the sector. So you can see technology are back. All right, and then next we have industrial product in here. So you can see technology are becoming more bullish, and of course of you on live on Wednesday, I've talked about the revival on technology. Check out that video that I've done on Wednesday in here. And let's go on to the sector. Right, you got technology, everything is green. You can see here has been green for the last 17 days. Construction, healthcare last 14 days, industrial product in here. But the strongest returns in here has been 12% and 8%, because of course those were the biggest fall that you've seen so far in here. KLSE is up 5% since the last Pentagon. So following the green Pentagon does pay dividend. Have you put that in your rules to follow the green Pentagon? Let me know, pencil those in there, and I'd love to hear your comment how Pentagon has made a difference in your trading and in your investing in here. Something that we can do here and over again. All right. So everything's green, that's looking pretty good. So it's nice. But this morning, of course, hitting 1500, and let's go to the KLSE in here. And this is what we talk about the KLSE, why this chart has moved up a fair bit is because of the CNS. Right? No supply confirmed. We have low volume and then heavy volume come in. That is actually a good sign that this market, if the subsequent following bar we have continued move up there, that would be great. So tonight and this evening, right, the closing of our KLSE shouldn't be down by another 4%. 7 points in here. Right now it's down 9 points. Okay, so it's down 9 points, and you could see DIY, Press Metal, Maxis. These are undergoing profit. Of course, last night DIY did pretty well, and DIY is undergoing profit taking after registering very good positive news that I talk about also on the daily report in here. Interestingly enough, you can see from here we had the big drop that we've seen in June. All right, and we are positive 3%. So looks like August should be a positive month. All right. And then we get back a bit of weakness on September. That's the time where maybe you want to start looking into this market in here. All right, so we've done that. So keep an eye on the foreign funds flow. As I said before, just above in here. If you want to try out our VSA 360, we have a 10-day free trial in here just for listen on, and you'll find more information with the half an hour coaching for worth 2688. So try that out. No harm, no obligation. All right. And of course, give us a chance to prove to you that we have one of the best tools in town in this market right now in here. All right, so we've done that one, and we're going to go on to our next. So we run the trading alert, foreign funds, and also the Pentagon Guider trading news, which is some of you may not aware. This is a very good benefits in here for those of you who want to trade on good news with green Pentagon. You can see SMI, South Korea, Malaysian tour. Right, and I'll just have to wait for the ticker to come back up again, just on top of me here. So the last update we have is 10/19. There you go, and this is from the 1st to 5th of August. Green Pentagon counter, we have Mestro. Yeah, Mestro is because there was a good report stays up by the RHB Retail Research. KYM is looking for electric vehicles. So you can click on KYM and let's take a look at KYM. This is how you want to do news discovery on Green Pentagon, and up 2.74%. And this is why it is, right? You can see this one straight up, and this is what we call a really staging bull market. And for those of you who are willing to take this bull by the horn, right, and will definitely benefit from in here. You can see taking out of the uptrust, KYM has definitely moved up a lot more. So check out the check out this feature that we have for you in here on the Green Pentagon News, for those of you who want to have a little bit more what's available on the market in here. Okay. Now, the new bull market, again, let's talk about something that we've known so far. Now, understanding the background, which is on the left-hand side, is pretty important. So look for clues, market stages, sign of strength, and sign of weakness in here. Those are the tall tail sign. And then later on, you want to know the 3-point A, B, and C. All right, so definitely point C, this is where we are. This is the second sign, which I've talked about in here, of the market continuation, right? Now, to go beyond point C, we want to see heavy volume, right? Removal of the old seller and fresh buyer continue to come in. So that is why heavy volume need to persist. So the only difference right now, we want to see volume continue to stay high for the KLCI. And I said before, that also tied back to the foreign funds flow. Of course, when the foreign funds are flowing in, you will see heavy volume coming in onto the large cap in here. So make sure you check out the FBM 30 on the heat map 360. That will show you some of those charts are going in. So point A and point B need to remain, let me just pull that back again, right? Need to remain to be very, very positive in here. On pick to pick, you can find out that the C continue to move up in here. So I'm going to talk about pick to pick right now. Now you see from this chart, this was last week. You can see the market has gone down 6%, 5%. This was the big one. The big drop 10% in here. Market rebound 6.4, 6.65 in here. Every time we have, let's just like a spring. We pull it further back, it will spring back in here, and that's why we're getting it. So right now, it's going to test the 200-day moving average in here. So this is definitely a VSA plug-in in here. Now also take note, there was a light pullback in here. Once the market crossed below the danger zero line, the pullback in here, that is definitely good. Of course, if you have gone in around here, the 1440, time to take some profit, because that is almost a 60-point run just following the market stages. Yeah, the market stages, as it cracked above the zero line, that is actually a good entry point in here. So keep that in mind for those of you who are using the market stages to do your timing of your entry in here. So when you hit that red zone, that is already your first profit taking indicator in here, right? Of course, some of you are planning to go in, that would be great, but wait for the pullback in here. This is the 200-day moving average. That's the one that the market is likely going to be testing, and that's the one going to be quite interesting to see how this one pan out too. Now let's talk about some day trading rule with the VSA for this new bull market. Now we are looking for stock, right idea, right setup with a high breakout in here, and you want to be focusing on hourly Pentagon, and it comes up right because this was one of the hourly Pentagon that was used by our winner up here, Eric New, that made 28% during the 20-day live day trial. Now, if you're not using the TradeVSA hourly Pentagon, right, what would you do then, right? So this is how he does it. And remember, this period, the month of June, where Eric was using, which is also the winner of 20-day trial, the KLCI was actually down 2%. He was able to do so because of using the hourly Pentagon Guider to find those trades that is trending. And the same thing why we believe that more likely, if the indicators and the condition prevail, we will see a new bull market in here. Now, of course, if the volume breaks out or very low, you want to be exiting in here. And if it does close, just exit out. Intraday trading or day trading has to have this rule in here. Definitely best if you continue to backtest in here, just like many of our 20-day live trial in here. Be a member. Right, that's one chance and one way to actually join our foundation class to improve your skill level in here if you're still getting very average result. Now let's look back at some of the trades we talked about this week using the VSA 360 Intraday Alert, and usually all this alert will come up before 10 a.m. and we'll be focusing on the overtake of the uptrust, which is actually a sign of strength in here. Now on the 29th, this is the focus, just like we'll be focusing today, which is the 5th of August. We want to pick those stocks that is above 47 cents, which is hot sector. So you can see all these were OTUT. We got Hexa, we didn't pick it because it was, well, 36 cents in here. We are looking something like 47 cents. Teleda was good. Gas Malaysia. We just want to show you three examples. BJ Food and PCSS. Let's take a look at the first one, PCSS. This was at the time we were talking about, you can see VSA pick it up, the overtake of the upthrust spotted at 56 cents, and then until right now the market did hit 61 cents, a potential of 7.9% move that will give you a potential 400 ringgit from a $5,000 trade. Simple, isn't it? It's just a 400 ringgit from a $5,000 trade. That's all, right? So as I said before, you want to be back testing this to make sure you get this. And this is what we talk about, that fishing, going out to get that meal in here. Just a very thing that you could do, make a positive return and a nice income too. All right. Of course, all things being said, do your trading plan, back test, and making sure that you have some good practice before coming in and trade. So 61 cent in here, giving it a 7.9% return for what we have. Next is a much better one, is Telada, and you can see Telada on the 29th of July, spotted at 69.5 cents in here. And right now, this morning, if you check it out, we went up to 117. Potential 68% move. Of course, if you got it out at 4%, that's fine. The whole point is to make small returns in here. But if you are experienced, like some of our members in here, through the training and coaching that are undergoing, potential running, maybe you may not get 68%, maybe you get 20%. That's not bad. 20% from 5,000 ringgit trade, that is also a 1,000 ringgit trade. Now, if you're not making this kind of opportunity, where would you get it from? Right? Telada was a potential 3,400 ringgit from a $5,000 trade. You could see a big nice move up in here. So it's always good to have this, but also pay notice, this was a risk zone because you're picking up when the market go through the red area in here. Okay. Last is Berjaya Food, and PCSS pick it up. OTUT for Berjaya Food is at 410 here. And this one is a smaller profit, hit a high of 420, giving it a 2.4%, potential 120. You can target 3 to 4% in here, but if it doesn't hit, you might want to exit and make a small loss, perhaps of a 2% loss, and just move on in here. Now, do take note, any stocks around the 4 ringgit mark in here, generally the volume dries up in here, and you won't get the kind of volume that you usually get for those bigger stocks. So just try to make note of this in here. And this is usually what are the stocks you want to look at. All right. Now the idea is, once a lot of the stocks start, as I said before, the mid stage 2 is when you see a lot of what we call market breadth. Market breadth is where you have maybe, let's say, 1,000 stocks, 600, 700, 500, more than 50-60% of them are making into the mid stage 2. All right. Mid stage 2, that tells you this new bull market is coming, because if you're able to maintain that heavy volume consistently, just like I said before, the foreign fund flows. That's why every morning on our breakfast show, we trade VSA we talk about what is keeping the market up or down. Screen through your intraday alert using the intraday alert and look for COC. If you can find one, those are good criteria. 47 cents, targeting 3 to 4% in here if you have a game plan. Now, why our members join our 20-day trading line? Because they want to explore new opportunities. So read about them. This is a QR code and how they are able to make, just like Eric, 28% in 1 month, while the KLSE dropped 2% in here. And this, right now, we're going to be looking at some potential trade. So check it out. So we go on to our intraday alert here, screener. And okay, it's under my premium menu, intraday alert. So this morning, we look just below the 10 o'clock. We got a YBS, PFG, YBS 60 cents. Okay, not bad. Let's take a look at YBS. Okay, YBS. Okay, YBS is a trade right here. Nice push up in here. You could see take out the uptrust. This one has a bit of spin in it. Could this be another Talada? All right, next one we have here is this was the alert. Intraday is PGF. Okay, now 30 cent usually I don't want to pick YFP, EIB. This one's 28 cent. That Pentagon hourly chart alert. This is what I talk about in here. Padini, a $3 in here. Did we also have the HSSB, 50 cent stock? Okay, wow, this one just hit a new one in here. Never mind. Next week we'll come and take a look and see how well will this fare. This market move up 10% in here. Now has pulled back to 50 cents. Right, so keep note of it. HSSB here, as you can see that 50 cents we're picking up in here. Next week we'll come back and take a look how well these stocks have fared, just like what we did in here. Will this be another Talada, perhaps touching the 68% for intraday trade? Well, of course we run it over a couple of days in here, so make sure you use the intraday alert screener in here. If not, check out our 10-day trial or sign up for our program in here. And these are some of the rules and some of the tools that was used by our winners for our 20-day trading challenge in here. Now, of course, for those of you who is looking for this new bull market, we have new courses coming up and new opportunity for those who want to take on in here. If you have not participated in our event, this is definitely an opportunity for you in here. Now we are doing our foundation class 1 tonight, 8 to 10:30, so you can register still. Foundation class 2 from 9:30 tomorrow to 12 p.m. noon in here. So those are the things. And of course, you can sign up for 1 year unlimited passes and 12 months. The more information on the on our mobile number that is displayed in front of you in here, or check out on the comments in here if you have more information for our masterclass course in here. For our foundation one, which we start tonight, we start and knowing the psychology of the trader in here. We're going to talk about pullback methods and also on the futures in here, right, on the CPO market. And then on Saturday morning, the focus will be on the VSA foundation, talking about market stages and signs and signs, just like what we talked about earlier on in here, giving you, right, and unparalleled platform that no one has seen before. Of course, you want to check out our 10-day free trial. Here's the QR code for that. Absolutely no obligation in here. 10-day free trial. You can check out all the indicators, the intraday, the VSA plugin, all those, right? Just activated it and you get 30-minute coaching from one of our very well-known and experienced coach and also senior trainer in here, Zach, right? Through it, worth $266. All right, make sure you check it out for that one. And of course, you're ready to sign up. These are our plan and pricing in here, giving you a full first mover advantage as low as 2 ringgit per day. Now, only 2 ringgit per day. Look at some of the trades we have done before. A couple of 4 figures, isn't it, in here? And that's why many of our users continue to give very good appraisal for in here, right? Trust our testimonial and then check out our VSA 360. And we continue to do a lot of public service educating in here for the month of August 2022. This Wednesday I've talked about the technology stocks, so check it out in there, and many of those stocks started to pick up and run in here. Next week we will have the futures, right, and followed by pullback, and then on the last August of the month before we celebrate our national holiday will be on the US market wealth transfer in here. All right, give us a feedback how we want to improve it in here. And of course, something I've talked about in here, share your biggest takeaway in our Google review if you have not done so, and you have stand a chance to win 3-month membership of VSA 360 worth 1,000 ringgit. That's all you need to do. Pencil those in, less than 200 words in here. All right, now we'll get on to the stock review right now. If any stock review, let me take a look at it. We got Kelvin in here asking for some stocks. All right, Kelvin, you got 4 of them. I can, if you are our members, we'll do all of them. But if you're from a public, we only do 1 stocks only. Okay, so it's always good to upgrade in here. So from here onwards, I think very popular will be Top Glove, because many people are always looking for Top Glove. So let's check out Top Glove here. Okay, while we're waiting for that, so Top Glove again, like it or not, it has turned green Pentagon in here, but do notice you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 up thrusts, which means there is a lot of sellers out there, right? There's definitely support in this trade in here. You have to be very patient, right? Now this is going to be somehow moving, following the monkeypox development, which is all seeing. Now also important is to see the ASP prices, the average selling prices. If the ASP prices has some indication moving up, then you'll see a bit of rally in here, but not much. As I said before, Top Glove is one of those already been dumped by a lot of the smart money in here. I would not focus on this. This is, to me, one of those stocks already cemar sikit lah. Cemar means already polluted. You want to be focusing on new stocks where smart money has not focused. That's where the money is. Like Telada, that thing just flew all the way. I think this, hopefully you can see why it's important to have new ideas continue in here. If you don't have the Coast Guard idea, sticking to the old stock, it's very difficult, especially if you're a beginner and a brand new retailer, because I don't want a beginner in here to get caught in all those smart money traps that we've seen in here. So if any other listeners today in here got any other stock, let me know, else we'll probably end it here. And right, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here, hit that smash button up, and also our Telegram chat room in here, right? And share that with your friends. And I'll see you on Monday again for our Smart Robie breakfast show in here. Have a good weekend and check out my morning podcast on the Telegram. And goodbye. And thank you for listening. We appreciate your time well spent with us.